Hey people, it is Sunday evening and there's a lot of noise going on down here because I've got Lou in studio walking around. I've got Hayden playing some Fortnite with some friends. And speaking of that, everyone go check out TSU-Hey. That's TSU-Hey. We might change it to the TSU Hey channel, something like that, because she now has been uploading her Fortnite sessions onto YouTube. And I haven't even got a chance to listen to them all the way, but I know my daughter. And I may be biased, but she's funny sometimes. And she would appreciate if you follow her and like her videos. So give that a go. Other than that, this episode is our annual Mike Schilling on for Halloween episode. We don't do as much Halloween talk as normal. We do play a Halloween game. And we do talk about Dead Nightmare because if you haven't already, check out episode 6. Go to deadnightmare.com and check out episode 6. You will see, or at least hear, some familiar voices as the PC Bombcast. That's the Pop Culture Bombcast as a whole is on that episode. And we're not good guys. We are complete opposite of what we are in real life. We're bad guys. Well, and bad girls with Bender and Missy. So, anyway, you know our normal sponsors. That'd be the Beer Sauce Shop at 318 Mid-Rivers Mall. That'd be My Bomber Jackets. All those people. Unofficial sponsor Shamrocks and everything like that. But yeah, forget all of it. Let's just get to the episode. So that is episode 150. Amazing, 150 with 3 year in a row guest Mike Schilling. I think he's been on 5 times. So yeah, so check it out. That'd be this would be episode 150, and you're gonna hear the bomb now. Thanks. Hey, we are back, and once again, we do not have the flop for the second week in a row for the exact same damn reason as last week, because them kids.
They ruined everything.
But we sort of fixed it, because we got rid of Bender, too.
Oh, man. Just you and me?
No, of course it's not just
boring.
you and me. Nobody wants to hear that. But what we did, because, we will go ahead and consider this our Halloween showcase episode.
And what do we tradition?
And what do we do, on Halloween? We bring in one Michael Zombie Man Schilling.
Hey, guys!
To come in and talk a little bit about his stuff, and then a little about something else. And I got a feeling a little bit of gaming later.
Is he our most returning guest? Is this 4 times?
I think this is 5 because I found them all and downloaded them all because I like to keep them in my little,
Yeah,
I like
your portfolio.
I'm a memory kind of guy, so.
Well, it's got to be up there along with Kyle and Andrew and him.
Yeah.
It's got to be, yeah. And then, and of course, I guess the original frequently returning guest would be the co-host of To Me, the Silver Badger.
That's right.
So,
of course.
And I was just so lovable that I came back.
He brought him back like a fuzzy teddy bear.
Yeah. Or a fuzzy little silver badger.
Yeah, very cuddly.
Right,
very
you are,
cuddly.
Ken.
Hey, like I said, it is once again, it's that time of year where we talk about all things zombies and Halloween and scary. But more importantly, we'll wait till a little bit at the end of the episode in case Missy does get here and wants to come downstairs. And I doubt it. But on the outside chance she does, I'd like to get her input on what the episode that's going to be airing soon.
Oh, very soon.
I guess let's jump into at least say that.
Okay.
Dead Nightmare.
Dead Nightmare. We're still going. Who would have thought? Right?
Yeah. And we've been waiting on the edge of our seat for this new episode because it features not 1,
not 2,
not 3,
but all 4 of us
of the PC Bombcast. And we're not good people.
Do we count Jeremiah as a half? So is it 4.5?
That's true. I'd say at least 4.5 or 4.25. Maybe, I don't know.
A quarter. Let's give him a quarter.
Yeah, 4.25 is Bender's acting out of 10.
I thought it'd be super cool to bring you guys on, especially as a whole crew. And so, they're not your standard Survivor crew. We're
not just a crew, but we're a crew.
We play heel.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Tom's he's a dirty old bee.
But I don't want to spoil anything, but not all of Tom survives the episode.
That's true.
And you'll never guess what doesn't survive. So that's a tease right there.
It is a teaser.
That's a tease, but we'll get into that at the end. That'll be what we talk about, because I want to go over a little bit of our experience, because we always ask you how it goes, but now we've got a little behind the scenes experience on it.
You guys got to really
I guess maybe it'll be more of us telling you the way we feel about your production. Maybe that'll be fun for you.
It's good. It's always good to have feedback from all people because you have to keep learning and growing. So
Speaking of just the spooktacular time of the year it is. You were just talking a while ago about The Walking Dead, and more importantly, with The Walking Dead, I don't think you've been on, or you just when you last time you came on, you had just started Zamam.
Oh, Z-Man? Yeah,
Z-Man.
The Z-Man show.
Z-Man show, and that would be
Zombies, Movies, and More.
That's right. And so you have you did a lot of stuff in the summer, but you've been focused of late with just your reviews of The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, and Dustin's had a harder time coming out, to meet up so we can do the episodes. Sure. But we have some other...
I found that if you get a whole bunch of co-hosts,
yeah, right,
you never have to rely on one. Yeah.
Or just one that's little
we had
and
a
funny.
couple others, but
I'm still looking for him.
No. But this has became a factor for some of them. So either way, but we do have some fun comedy skits that we want to bring your way. So I think by December we're going to have at least 2 or 3 good skits done. So that's going to be fun.
If you ever need us to really bring some really comedic chops.
Actually, I think it could definitely work. In fact, we want to do kind of like an esports, like commentators
type
deal.
Like
so,
that could be good.
So Dustin's going to be like the super hype, welcome back everybody, kind of like American Ninja Warrior stuff. And then I'm like the half drunk, hate my life. I can't believe I'm doing esports. I used to be, doing hockey, or full, NHL, and now I'm stuck here doing this. But anyways, we got some fun ideas coming.
Down.
So
I'm down.
I'll let you guys know because now we're going to go down to the floor where Jeremy and Tom.
Even if it's a parody, if he gets to live out a dream of being a sportscaster on. That might be a big one.
Well, he's already been an anchor.
I don't know if you're. Yeah, he has been a news anchor. I don't know if you're aware of this though. But speaking to the power of the Pop Culture Bombcast, we actually have ties to sportscasting. In fact, we launch professional careers.
That's right.
Well, but highest level professional careers.
Ryan Ray doing well as a Dallas Star pregame show.
I heard about that.
Yeah,
very cool.
He's doing well, so very
neat.
Happy for him.
But so with that said, so we were talking like Z-Man. So yeah, we got some more content coming your way, so that'll be fun. So check us out on YouTube. Look up Z-Man.
Now, is that under the same YouTube channel as your?
It is.
Okay.
I kept them together because honestly,
I didn't feel like running. Well, what is that actual channel?
So let me see here. I think that is just
Mike Schilling, right?
Yeah,
with no G.
It's funny. No, no. Actually, that one you can look up. So Michael Schilling, or you can look up Z-Man.
It's got to be a unique name. You don't have anybody stealing it.
There was one other dude that had some stuff, but we beat them out now.
I just look up your Dead Nightmare.
Yeah.
On YouTube,
in fact, I started just giving them the website, the wetdeadnightmare.com.
That's what I would do. Filter it all there.
I now actually put all these different links to videos and stuff so they can just
which will go back to your YouTube anyway. So, do that. Well, let's go ahead and spin off of Z-Man. We're now
You Walking Dead? Or?
2 episodes into the new season.
Ooh. And a good 2 episodes they have been.
You've really enjoyed them?
I got to be honest, I'm really enjoying it. And they were talking a little bit of how they're bringing like kind of like a Western type feel or ish kind of feel where it's just kind of like they're like kind of like on the desolate plain, kind of trying to survive as these communities come together. Now, I know people had a lot of Negan, and maybe in fact too much Negan. I think they maybe got worn out on his character a bit.
I think. For me, and Negan's one of my favorite characters in the comic, and I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and I thought he was very great in the show. Mm-hmm. To me, it wasn't that I was worn out from Negan. I wanted to see more than the shtick, and it was like they hinted it.
Yeah,
like he almost but every time they'd hint it, like the scene where he was upset about Carl. Spoilers, and
spoilers.
He that was a good scene, but they didn't do enough of that. They only showed the one dimension of him over and over and over.
Yeah, they almost started breaking on him a few times, and you're like, oh, a little bit of depth. Like even that thing talking about his wife almost a little bit, and then getting into Lucille a little bit. So, but it's never quite enough. It feels like.
So, and by the way, in the comics, he didn't even have an origin until last year.
Really?
Yeah, they did last year or the year before, but it wasn't until after his character came on the show.
Sure.
Before they gave him one in the comics. So.
And I think it's a lot harder because now that the show's going a million miles a second, the comics, it's kind of like, and I think we've seen that now. They've kind of parted ways from the comics to some extent.
Yeah,
the big news is Andrew Walker
and Andrew Lincoln. Yeah,
is going to walk away from the show.
I mean, that's huge for me because
they're going to go Norman Reedus as the focal point going forward.
Did they make that call?
Well, he's getting $20 million, so he's the main guy.
Well, he's the only him and Carol are the only 2 left from season 1. My wife and I were just.
There's a conspiracy theory about that. I don't know if you were on when we talked about that, but so those that don't know, Robert Kirkman's in litigation over back pay.
Okay, I knew that.
And the original showrunner had left.
Frank Darabont?
And over and not on good terms.
Right.
Carl
Oh gosh.
did not leave on good. What's his name? Chandler Griggs did not leave. Chandler Riggs.
Chandler Riggs.
So he was written off the show. He didn't want
Yeah,
to leave
well,
the
like
show?
he had gotten a home down there. He took off from school. He wanted to focus on acting, and then literally found out, like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks later that he was being cut from the show.
So the fan conspiracy theory is that they're slowly trying to get rid of all characters that were from the comic books.
Oh wow! So they can just go their
So it
own
would
way,
just
or-
be all the TV original character. Now
That
Carol,
sucks.
but the one thing that has changed. I mean, obviously Rick would be the big one. Carl's actually a big one because in the comic he runs his own town, his own area,
Nice.
with a whisperer, which we're about to start seeing,
right.
and who he falls in love with. Now in the comics it's gross because she licks his eye socket. And in a like a sexual way, if you can make that sexual,
That's
they
pretty gnarly.
yeah, the comic's a little more graphic, and then
right on.
obviously
Hey, if you
Rick's
can
still
dream
around.
it, there's porn for it.
Yeah, that's right. Rule 43 or 34, Rule 34. But anyway, so
Yes.
that said, all of that said, I think I'm okay with this season so far as well.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, and I guess Fear. We've been watching so much Fear, which I've been enjoying Fear too.
I hear it's gotten better.
It really
I
has.
gave up on it, and my daughter, who loves Walking Dead, she tried, and I don't know that there's any one thing that I didn't like about it. It was just like fitting another zombie show in,
And
yeah.
that's tough,
Okay.
especially when it's weird because they're talking about expanding the universe. Even there's,
Oh, wow.
there's
Like a third show?
they didn't say necessarily third show, but I mean I don't know what else expanding would mean.
Right.
So
My problem with and we're going to get into I'm going to spin off what I'm about to say, but my problem with the Fear is I don't like how the time frame caught up.
it did.
I don't like that.
with Morgan and everything.
I liked the gimmick of a lot of beginning of the thing.
Yeah.
And they just changed that.
And they spent a good 2.5 seasons, well, at least 2 full seasons, making their way between Mexico and then into Texas and stuff. So, but I think they were kind of seeing like it was just kind of getting played out. So they had to finally make their way. Now, I'm not saying that they necessarily had to merge timelines, but I think they saw if they wanted to keep the life of the show, taking Morgan, who was a pretty strong character on the other show, and bringing him over and kind of letting him. I think that was their thought. I'm not
That's
saying
like
it was
bringing
right.
John Cena over to SmackDown.
Right?
Like trying to balance out
SmackDown
two
turned
shows.
1,000 last night, 1,000th episode.
Wow.
Oh.
I think what Mike's trying to say is making your way in the zombie world today takes everything you got.
Totally.
You know what? In that case, I really think you'd like to get away if a zombie's coming after you.
Sometimes you just want to go.
Yeah.
Say, speaking of bad timelines,
Yes.
so the only criticism I will have
For new season.
for the new season
Yes.
is they fucking Game of Thrones us.
With
They went to Washington.
Oh, you know what? Now, that's what I was really confused on because I thought they went to Washington too, but then when I went back and I was watching Talking to Them, they said something about the Georgia National Capital Area or something like that. So,
Well, the interview on Yahoo or something,
Okay.
Nicotero said the capital, and they didn't say Georgia capital.
okay, so double
Georgia
check that.
capital Atlanta?
Yeah, see, that's what I think it ended up being. But
I hope it is.
I thought the same thing because in my review, I actually said Washington, and then I like was reading up on it, and it wasn't. I was like, oh, whoops. So
I was going to throw something. I was like, the black crows can't fly a million miles an hour. A person can't run for 3 days. These are all problems that Game of Thrones have gave us.
That's true.
And now the people walk across the country and back in a matter of a
No,
day.
I think you're okay on that one because they did call out it was the capital of Atlanta area.
I was
So-
gonna
Atlanta is the state capital.
lose my shit.
Sorry,
They've
didn't want to
they've already
ruin
been
your
in Atlanta multiple times.
True, but I think they knew it was the closest place so
They-
they could go and get. So they wanted to go get some certain.
Yeah,
there was like a plow.
Like you
and-
said, they're essentially now going back to settler days, and they went there to get a
Right.
bunch of the
all the,
the stuff in the Smith, like in the museum, so they
They had
could
a
copy
wagon
them and
and-
make
Gotcha.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, let's face it, to build all these things. I mean, what are you gonna spend a month building a wagon?
Eugene can only do so much.
I know the man's busy, which I did kind of like that in the most recent episode. He was kind of going. He felt like the quartermaster kind of guy, kind of going along with the king.
You
and
know
just
what?
Talking over
That was,
stuff.
and also that there was a scene there that was very subtle, and I pointed it out to my wife. The best scene so far of the new season, very subtle.
Yep.
Very good use of camera. He's walking with Rick. He's checking all the stuff on this thing, and they come up on one of the saviors, and the savior's reporting, and he looks over, and they do an angle from his hand because his fingers are blown off, which was Eugene's fault from sabotaging all the guns at the end of last season.
I saw those fingers, but you know what? It didn't register.
And he was uneasy around that person.
What about the woman that was serving the food missing the hand? Do you think that was part of that too? You think maybe?
Oh, I would bet. I mean,
I just caught that. I caught that one too when they were serving the food.
Especially if Eugene's involved, because he did that to him. He won the war.
Yeah, he did.
So. Yeah.
Crazy bastard.
Yeah, Eugene.
But
spoiler.
I just want to say the most exciting thing I'm enjoying right now is honestly just Rick. I mean, Rick is my boy. I just love his character. I don't know why. I just feel like it is so hard to be a leader, and I just think he does it the best he can at all times.
Because he's flawed, right?
Right.
I mean, so it always makes him compelling.
And I think he's currently being the leader that everybody's been wanting him to be for a while.
Yeah.
So he's trying to be a level-headed, good dictator, but he lays the smack down when he wants to.
So if you're not watching Walking Dead, you probably should be. And if you gave up a long time ago, understandable. But I'm telling you, you guys are missing out on some good.
And these people are
shows.
disappearing, by the way, because the Whisperers are getting them.
Oh, is that what's going down?
We saw that they teased it in
Justin
the trailers.
In the trailers
and stuff.
But Justin was weird at the very end.
He knew that person.
He knew them, and it wasn't Daryl, and it wasn't Henry.
So we may be getting another serial killer or serial problem like we had when Carol was the person in the
or a little child. Maybe.
Oh yeah, a little child. That was a good one too.
It's not Henry, but anyways.
But yeah, Walking Dead's good.
Yeah,
I mean it's good.
And
again.
if you want to check out reviews, check out the Z-Man show.
Now, that's a shameless plug.
Yeah, that's a good shameless
Man, I threw that in there. Z-Man show. It's great for you.
Yeah, it's good for the skin.
Let's move on to something else so Tom can. What's something that what are you excited about coming out? I mean, I know we were talking about Halloween.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Tom's not a big scary movie guy.
Not really my jam.
Not the jam.
There's two big ones coming out that I want to see. Halloween's one, and Overlord is the other.
Yeah,
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, I was like, interesting.
What's that about?
It's the World War II and the Allies. Take this Nazi occupied town, and it happens to be where there was a prison that they were experimenting, and they're essentially creating monsters, and so it's all set during World War II, and it's J.J. Abrams' production, so there's a lot into it. Yeah,
it looks interesting, and it looks amazing. Just the cinematography and everything looks crisp and clean. Well, I should say dirty.
Yeah, because it's Abrams. It's Bad Hat Harry. It's that company. So Bad Robot. J.J. Abrams is Bad Robot. Yeah.
But so Halloween, just throwing it out there. So I think we've heard on the shows before. I do love the Halloween franchise.
And this has got very good reviews, favorable reviews.
Yes, and so which is kind of surprising. Written by Danny McBride
and I can't remember his writing partner's name, but yeah, So
wait, can Michael Myers be killed, or does he have supernatural abilities?
He's a human.
He's human, but evil fuels him or something like that. So.
This one though,
they changed it.
Well, no, in the series he become superhuman, like Jason.
Yes.
But this Michael Myers, this is a direct continuation of the first one.
He's just more humanistic.
So everything else is gone. So this Michael Myers is just fueled by pure rage and pure evil, but he is in fact a human.
So he can't be killed.
So we think.
We think. So
we
is this the third Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yes, it's a third, but it's officially timeline-wise the second.
Well, I was going to throw back there. Actually, then it's the fourth. Halloween 1, 2, H2O.
Yeah, the H2O, yeah. Okay. So this is officially, in movie world, in fantasy world, it's the second.
Right.
Okay.
Every other Halloween's disappeared.
Which I want to mention this real quick. I don't want to your opinion because you've seen them. And in fact, Tom, if you
baby,
I've
your power play goal by your St. Louis Blues. It's high the game up at 2.
Oh boy, here we go.
Hey, but I was going to say, so Halloween 2, not Rob Zombie Halloween 2, Halloween 2 at the hospital and everything else.
I liked it.
I liked it too.
I
was on some forum the other day and they were like, everybody knows Halloween 2, 1981 was the worst one in the series, and I'm like, no, not really, because it follows up right after the night of everything going on. I mean, there's complete continuity going on. The hospital was a little maybe goofy, but I heard originally, I read in the IMDb, they were going to do it in an apartment building. So I have no idea how that would have worked out. But
that'd have been like Jason Takes Manhattan. He'd have been loose in the.
Oh god! It boxes the guy.
Yeah.
Speaking of back to what you said about the Rob Zombie one, though.
Oh,
I don't fault Rob Zombie for that movie being bad. He did not want to make it.
The first one I didn't actually mind.
I enjoyed the first one.
It was pretty intense. It
was
very intense.
And I like the origin aspect they did of it.
Yep. And it was super dark. So, knowing his style, I'm like, no, this makes sense. And I like what he did with it. The second one, though, and I heard about that. They gave him some huge budget.
And he didn't want to make it.
Right. And so he just kind of went haywire, just doing all this random stuff. Mike was killing all kinds of random... It just didn't make any damn sense.
Well, what he wanted to do is he wanted to make his own movie, but they said in order to make your own movie, you've got to make Halloween 2.
What's his most famous movie that he's directed?
House of Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
Okay.
I know. Let me rephrase it. Devil's Rejects. Devil's Rejects was...
was that...
That's
you're
his
right.
best rated.
Best rated.
And House was his first.
I liked House a lot.
I did too. House was also fell victim to some production problems. So
At the
House,
very end, right?
House was made, and didn't get distributed. It wasn't going to get distributed. He couldn't find anybody to do it because there were some legal problems as to who owned some rights. Well, we got it figured out. A company bought it, and they said, we like it, but you got to finish it. Here's all this money.
Yeah.
And he goes, I have all this extra money that I didn't have before. So that's when they went underground, and it
Built
was
sets and all
chaos
kinds
looking.
of crazy-
And he literally said, he goes, I learned from my mistake, because just because you have the money doesn't mean you have to spend it all on props.
Yeah.
But then his Devil's Rejects, which is his most acclaimed, and
What's that movie about?
that's the sequel to House. It's the family with Captain Spaulding on the run after House.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Captain Spaulding was great in that. Most notably, they were wrangled up and arrested by Diamond Dallas Page and Danny Trejo.
Self high five.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, and then...
and they get their asses whipped by him.
Yeah, and who's the dude from, the original Dawn of the Dead, Afro-American guy, real tall?
Yeah. So the original Dawn of the Dead, which we're going to touch on that here in a little bit too. He was the brother of Captain Spaulding. So
Which ends up kind of, I guess, turning on him a little bit because then they
sells him
call it-
out.
Yeah, sells him out.
Sells him out.
But still, pretty
to
cool
save
to
his
see.
own ass. Yeah, which is
But then
hey,
he ends up coming true.
hey,
in the end.
it's a world of criminals.
That's right. You gotta
But the
look out for
Devil's
number
Reject
one.
was really kind of a gritty...
It was more of a psychedelic serial killer film, instead of a scary movie.
with them on the run, as opposed to coming to our house and to our house of horrors.
But I argue it's the best use of Freebird in the history of film.
the very end was kind
It
of
is
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Bunch of still takes when they're driving towards the cops getting shot up.
It's just a huge
and
cop line.
It starts with them pulling up on the line of cops, and they sit there for. And Zombie did this twice. He did it once with the gunshot scene in House, and he did it in this. It's a very long, nothing going on scene.
Yeah.
And then Freebird's music starts, and they just start loading up their guns, and they just gun it. And, then it does a lot of still takes of them getting blown away with Freebird playing over it.
There's another movie that Freebird plays that's really famous.
It's in a lot.
Yeah, probably a ton out there, actually. Not
Is
that I can
it
think
Easy
of.
Rider?
Oh,
No.
Seems like it's a film that would
It
fit.
would definitely be a film that would fit.
interesting.
Weird fucking movie.
I heard.
Yeah, right?
I heard on something recently, and it's what I wanted to spin off into. Is I don't know if you're watching Eli Roth's new limited series on AMC.
I have it recorded. I didn't watch it yet. I'm super psyched to watch it.
So they say the best films made about it of the '60s is Easy Rider and Night of the Living Dead.
The original?
Yeah, they say they're both the best social commentaries on the '60s of any, and it is.
Really?
And you remember the comic book show that I talked about on here one time? They had on AMC where they had different eras.
Yeah,
of,
yeah. Well,
they-
Kevin Smith show.
They did a sci-fi one also. No, Robert Kirkman did.
Oh,
No.
I kind of remember that.
And then they did a sci-fi one with, I want to say it was Abram. I can't remember who did it. And they did a bunch of different sci-fi creators. Well, now for Halloween, they have Eli Roth, and they do a different genre of horror movies. The first one up was, because it kicked off the year, was zombies.
Right.
Okay.
And so he had all these creators from
Tom Savini.
He had Savini. He had Rob Zombie. He had
Greg Nicotero, obviously.
yeah, he had Greg Nicotero. He had, but then he had guys like Josh Hartnett, who was in what was the scary movie?
30
Days of Night.
Yeah.
They had Quentin Tarantino. They have all these people.
Yeah, it was cool.
And they start with obviously with Romero, even though they go back a little bit
Shame
before.
he's not around. That would have been fun.
Oh, but they
conversation.
have all these awesome interviews with Romero from the '80s, and
When did he
they
pass away?
a couple years ago.
2, I think.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Yeah, and there's also ones called Document of the Dead, I think, or Documentary of the Dead. But anyways, it's a movie fully about the production of like the
That's
original
cool.
movies and
He made that on just like a shoestring budget, right?
small super budget. He had to
The first one.
well, the first one, you're
And
right.
then he got a lot of money to make the second one, and that's
they're in
wh-
the bunker, right?
And that's
Day of
when,
the Dead.
and that's when that Dawn of the Dead was the second one. Yeah,
You're right. Apologies.
And Dawn of the Dead is widely considered the greatest zombie movie of all time. Of
Yeah.
all the directors and everything. Now, my only complaint is looking back is they're all blue. They're
were-
a weird shade of Smurf blue.
Makeup was a little rough.
But that's when
This is
Tom.
like mid-70s, right? When
Yeah,
one came out?
That was no, that one was 81, 82.
Very early
Oh, wow.
80s. I think.
68
Yeah.
was the first one.
Yeah.
Then there was Then there was 90 was the remake of the first. Right, was the remake of the Night of the Living Dead.
Yes.
1990 exactly.
90, yeah.
Yeah.
By Savini. He directed it.
Savini did it. But what was funny is he got a lot of money, and then he got Tom Savini to really do his special effects. Tom Savini had a little assistant named Greg Nicotero, who...
Wait, is Tom Savini? He's not the dude from Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes.
Yes.
He is?
Absolutely.
Yeah, good job.
I can pull one out of my ass.
And
well done.
what's
Point for Tom.
the most famous thing he ever directed?
Most thing that Tom Savini ever directed?
Yeah.
What's that guy's name in that movie? He's the one with the little pistol
Yeah,
gun.
the pistol around his crotch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
it's gonna be hard, but when you hear it,
go ahead.
Thriller.
Oh, no kidding.
He directed Thriller?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a fun fact for everybody.
And people think that killed the zombie craze.
No.
Because it was after that there wasn't a lot of zombie movies again until the 90s.
Thriller's awesome.
It is awesome.
Okay, well, either way.
Yeah. But so they talk about that. They get into, they talk about, they really talk about how then there was that crazy turn, which was what you were talking about, between Reanimator, which was a zombie film.
Which I finally watched this the last time.
Oh, I love Reanimator.
It's got a certain, and some of those movies you're just like, oh, I can't get into it. I can't. That one I actually have rewatched several times. There's something about it. It's just like, that's kind of cool.
It's a crazy, crazy film.
And they make some references to, and even in today's movies, that movie Life, with when they're up in space,
yeah.
and they find a thing. Ryan Reynolds makes a comment about it. He goes, this is some total Reanimator shit. But anyway, this is kind of cool because, it all comes back full circle.
Academy Award-winning film, American Beauty. He lets him borrows his Reanimator, or the sequel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so he lets him have that, and
nice.
They also talk about they talk about the things that go forward, like the next big incarnation was Fast Zombies, but which
what 04 with Dawn the remake?
No, Fast Zombies first started in 28 Days later.
Okay, good call. True,
but. Technically, Fast Zombies started in the 60s, 70s. There were Fast Zombies.
Did we say if they were zombies or not? Because we know it was infection.
Even whoever it is on there, it's
Cillian Murphy or
no, someone on that they interview, some big creator goes, I know they're not zombies. Technically, they're not zombies, but
they are.
They're zombies. Yeah, so
I can go with it. That's cool.
And and then they get to what The Walking Dead has done for it and stuff.
No, 28 Days was very well.
Cillian Murphy launched his career, and he's got a great career.
Heck yeah, he does. And that movie, I still watch that one. That's amazing. And then the 28 Weeks Later, which I'm kind of waiting. Hey, 28 months later.
Yeah,
hey,
we got to see it.
Why not?
We got to see it.
Anyways.
But anyway, it's a good show. I can't remember. I think the next one Sunday is Slashers,
and it's super late, right? It's not on till like midnight or
something.
Yeah,
in fact it's on so late that it's funny when you watch The Walking Dead or something. It's all it says is later tonight. It doesn't even give you a time.
Oh, nice.
It's like because it said some later tonight, sometime after the replay of Walking Dead.
It's weird because they do such. I mean, I know they did a great job on the show. Why they would put in such a late slot?
Comic Book Men, which recently just got canceled this past season, it was on at midnight also.
Oh, it was,
and it was successful there. So I don't know. I just met those guys a couple of weeks ago. Well, two of them. I met Brian Johnson and Ming Chen.
You had a party with them?
Yeah, not really. I mean, they were there.
Did you go to a Comic-Con or something?
Yeah,
or?
my buddy's comic book convention in Springfield, Missouri. He put it on. It was his first one, so it was pretty good. And one of the guys from Impractical Jokers, they do a podcast together, so they were all there as the main guests.
Yeah, let me know about that. I'm going to have to join next time. That sounds like fun.
It is fun.
I've never been to one.
Oh, we gotta go. We got to go to Kansas City.
I mean, between comics and the game ones, which are all just amazing. But I mean, I keep seeing these people. They're going to their meeting, like Andrew Lincoln and some of these guys. I'm like, why am I not there? I mean, I love this shit.
Kansas City's the one you need to go.
I need to go. All right,
because there's all kinds of big, and there's always someone from The Walking Dead.
I think the problem is I don't keep track of the dates. So unless it's like literally in front of me, and I say, hey, I'm leaving and going to this thing.
The next Planet Comic Con in Kansas City is in May.
Okay.
When's the St. Louis one? February?
Yeah, and it's good if you want to see a couple celebrities, but it's not a very good comic book convention.
Okay.
And that's Wizard World. Wizard Worlds have lost their luster over the years.
And I have to be honest. I mean, comics are not my thriving.
Well, they're not comic conventions anymore. It's everything. Any kind of collectible.
Sports cards.
Yeah. Well, no sports cards.
Oh,
okay.
You won't find sports cards. You'll find games.
Okay.
You'll find comics. You'll find collectibles of every kind, from statues to props to costumes.
And they don't sell these. It's just seeing things,
no,
right?
you sell.
You can buy stuff.
Oh,
too,
these
right?
are nice. They're primary reason to be there is to suck the money out of geeks everywhere.
Ridiculously expensive, but
no, comic book conventions you get good deals.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, the good news about comic book conventions, yes, everyone's there to make money.
Sure,
but more or less, even though they've been kind of prostituted over the years and been devolved into like just entertainment expos, the big ones.
Yeah.
It's still, the whole thing was a pre-internet era of getting a bunch of people with like interests together to celebrate that and share their stuff. So they do maintain that a little bit, so you can find good deals. For instance, I picked up a couple of board games. I picked up a board game I've wanted for a long time called Mice and Mystics.
Okay.
It retails for $80, and the guy told it to me for $65 because it was at the show.
Hey, that's cool.
And then there's one up there called Guild Wars.
Okay.
Or something like that. It's one of my favorite board games of all time was something called Blood Bowl, and it was essentially Mutant League Football from Sega on a board game.
Nice.
And that's kind of a light version of that. I got that for $20. It's out of print, so you can find stuff at a good deal.
Yeah, you're right. It's always fun to find those ones, especially when they're out of print and they, you go online and they want like $200 or $300 from these. You're like, come on now. I mean,
yeah. Well, I lived in that world for a long time, so I know it. I know it well.
Gouging nerds left and right.
That's what I did, man.
So, on a little side note, if you don't mind me just bringing this up, so, like, I know we were talking
You're
about
the guest. You can take us anywhere you want to go.
I'm taking control. No, but there's some other cool movies that have been.
Yeah, what else do you have?
Well, let's talk about Netflix and how big. They have blown up like crazy. Like, I heard, like, they like take 4 huge production companies like Paramount and some of the others. Netflix is bigger than all 4 of those.
So I saw last week 20 shows, I want to say, debuted across all networks. We're talking Hulu, Amazon, cable.
That's
Netflix.
crazy.
Well, no, Netflix, of those 20, was like 14 of those 20 shows.
So Netflix, I can't remember her name, but you know the woman that created Grey's Anatomy, the showrunner and all that stuff?
I don't know if I know her face.
I can't remember her name, but she recently added some kind of entertainment conference forum or something, proclaimed she's the highest paid showrunner on TV now thanks to Netflix.
Yeah.
So the rumor is they gave her $360 million.
Holy
wow!
Because
production budget, or this is her salary?
That's what she's being paid to run shows for Netflix.
Holy crap!
So the reason
are they making money?
So let's talk. We'll get into that. So the reason that she is supposedly that's the figure they think.
Yeah.
Someone said that she told them she's making $100 million more than the next person, and that's you'll know his name he's American Horror Story show creator and showrunner.
Don't know his name, but I know what you're talking about.
He also did Glee. That was his show.
Okay.
And gosh, I wish I could.
So he had some popular shows then.
Yeah, so he got a $200 million salary because he came out and flat said it. They're paying me $200-something million, and somebody said that she's making $100 million more than he is.
I mean, even she's making 3 of 360. Isn't it Netflix that just picked up the Lord of the Rings franchise, if I'm not mistaken?
And going to do a series,
right?
Yeah.
And I heard
a series.
Yes.
Wow.
And The Witcher, the video game.
I know that's gonna be cool.
And that's Jason, not Jason Momoa. That is someone big. That's
wasn't Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
No. Oh, it's Henry Cavill. It's Superman himself.
Henry Cavill. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Since they dumped his ass.
That's official.
It is official.
That is finally official.
I'm very upset about that. I'm just going to throw it out there. I liked him as Superman. I don't care what y'all say. He was cool. The movie had great tone. The soundtrack was amazing. It was fun times all around. But I was just going to say 360 or even 300 million. I heard that the first season of Lord of the Rings alone, the production value was almost 150 million dollars. Just
that's a lot of money.
Think about it. Think about all the that universe.
Do the prequels take a little luster off that?
I
know they made money, but weren't they not?
You talking about like The Hobbit and stuff like that? I don't know. I mean, because I love the first 3. I love the Lord of the Rings.
I've never seen the
franchise.
Hobbit ones. I mean, I love the original.
I hated them.
The Hobbit ones were a little rough. I got admit. I expected a lot more and special tone, but they ended up all, spoiler alert, all living mostly. Pretty much everybody almost lived, and I was just like,
don't they in the book too?
They probably do, and maybe that was what it was meant to be. But I'm like, this needs a little bit more. grit to it, and I don't think we
the stakes need to be a little high. There needs to be
they do. And now, by the way,
like in Dead Nightmare,
at the very end,
that's right.
The stakes are high. Any moment could be your last. That's my tagline.
Not us, because we're
I'm invulnerable, basically.
Well, you're golden for now, at least.
Yeah, for now.
At least
platinum.
At least one more episode.
That's right.
I gotta be shot and killed at least.
But yeah, just saying that it's amazing that what they pay some of these people to run these shows. When that could be a whole nother major show in itself, right?
Right.
So
Ryan Murphy, that's Glee and American Horror Story,
Okay.
and Shonda Rhimes.
Now, is he related to Charlie Murphy?
No. Shonda, he's white as driven snow.
White as a cocaine. Yeah, like James knows.
And Shonda Rhimes, and her claim to fame biggest claim to fame would be Grey's Anatomy, Private Practice, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder. So
basically she writes trash.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't
trash
watch any
that's
of
made
those.
her incredibly popular and rich.
Hey, the women, they love those shows, man.
They
do.
Watch out.
And she's a woman. And her whole deal was women empowerment. Like, she's like, and look, I'm a woman, and look what they're paying me.
She clearly knew what they wanted.
But they back to your Netflix thing. They also got the Coen brothers' new film is on Netflix.
That's right.
Oh wow.
It's unbelievable. And
they're bringing a lot of directors.
So we
and
talked
producers.
about it. What did they say? Over 1 million. It's a stupid number of subscribers now. How many is it?
Oh, you mean increased or just total?
Just total subscribers.
Oh, is it? Oh, I have no idea. I have to look it up.
We're gonna look at.
I'll let you look it up. But while you're looking that up, I will talk to you guys about. So I'd watched a movie last night. It was a Netflix production, and it has the gentleman from Casino Royale. He was the guy who was the Brethren CIA agent. He also plays in Westworld, as my buddies here were talking about.
But the worst game of Passport ever.
Right,
Yeah.
I know, right? But the point being, this movie was called Hold the Dark, and he was an author, and he wrote. He knows like all this stuff about wolves and this and that.
I saw the
Okay.
a trailer for that.
So this woman hires him out, young woman hires him out to basically come out and hunt down this wolf who supposedly took her little boy. Let me just tell you this.
Sounds like a Hemingway novel.
This story goes anywhere but where you thought it was going to go, and it is just a
Is there a
sadistic,
werewolf?
crazy. No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not.
That's where I was going.
Not that kind of sci-fi-ish kind of turn, but in a sense of just very dark, very
Build suspense well. No,
yeah.
not a
I mean,
horror
and the
movie.
amount of the people that just die in general, you're just like, what is going on in
Yeah,
this
it
movie?
looked good.
Was-
The trailer looked good.
Now, I did hear it got some rough reviews. Some people saying it never really got to pick up off its feet, but I thought I kind of liked it.
I think horror and comedy is one of those where you can't really judge the reviews because it's kind of subjective to what people find
Yeah.
thrilling and scary or funny.
That's true.
But when it does work and everyone notices, then you've got something. See Get Out. Things like
gosh.
that. Just real quick, they estimate 138 million subscribers to Netflix.
130 at an average price of
Let's just say what our price is,
is it like-
$10.
Yeah, 10 to 12 or something like that.
That's $1.3 billion a month.
Oh, a month.
That's $10 a month.
Oh shit.
That's times so times that by 12. That's $16.5 billion a year.
That's ridiculous.
Someone said that the salaries for people working there, like the average person in is a high six-figure salary for anybody in the building.
That's crazy.
Because they just have piles of money. Here's more money. You guys want some money? Here's some money.
Well, as long as their subscriber base holds, and by the way,
Why
if
can't
they're
people do that
It's
for me?
booming.
as long as they're creating good content, which they are, they have an assload of content. In fact, it's so much content that you almost don't even know where to start. To be honest,
You don't. In
It's-
fact, it's both a gift and a curse. Like, for instance, Joe Rogan was recently talking with Andrew Santini on his podcast, or Santino, that it's good that they're giving all this money to all these stand-ups for specials, but he goes, the only bad thing about it, they're
You get
not
lost in-
special anymore.
You get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, they're
too.
not special. Yeah, you got to have a breakout one to order be able to.
And I know that's another reason why, like Tom, you're just talking about how Netflix had 14 of those 20 shows, because more than likely 2 of those may survive, right? Or maybe 3.
Well, speaking of
I
not
think
surviving,
They have a lot of retention. I feel like
Oh,
on
they
their
do.
shows.
speaking of not
Okay,
surviving, though,
okay.
the first casualty in the Marvel universe,
Oh.
Iron Fist got canceled for season 3.
Oh, it's done.
It's
That's
axed.
weird because I thought IGN was talking about how
But
it was
even
actually
that
good.
made season 2. I mean,
Season
it was
2 and season
panned.
2 was better than season 1.
That's what
Yeah.
I heard. Right.
which was awful, but yeah, it
no go.
did not make it.
No bueno.
What are you going to do? I mean, literally, they're throwing the thing, and
That's
the reason
crazy.
I think they're throwing, I don't even look at it as. To me, it's not an overwhelming amount of content they're put out. It is, but what the way I choose to look at it, and it's the way a lot of creators have said, it's not so much that you have to look at it like, hey, they're just putting out a lot of stuff.
No.
They're letting a lot of creative people do whatever they
They are,
want.
and yeah, I
that's so you're going to get some grand slams, you get
Yeah.
some swing and misses too.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a really cool one with Numi Rapace. What Happened to Monday? I don't know if you saw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With all the different people, the clones or whatever.
Very cool.
I wanted
movie,
to see
guys.
that.
You guys need to watch that. That was legit.
I've never seen the trailer for that. It looked really good.
I saw so we were doing a cast one day for C-Mam show.
Yeah, this guy over here.
It's a theme.
Yeah.
But anyways, but he was like, "Hey, dude, you got to check out this just fight scene between like 4 of these because they're all identical, right? And this is in a world when you can only have one child because all these resources and this and that. But anyways, the point is they're hiding, behind the scenes and so forth. Well, anyways, these bad guys finally catch up with them, and this scene, it is fluid. I mean, and I'm just like, how in the hell did you guys shoot this? And anyways, very cool movie.
Well, man,
very
the
exciting.
first ninja fight scene in the first Daredevil was an amazing scene. Every hallway scene, which even Joe McHale show, which I love on Netflix, is on Netflix. It's essentially Talk Soup.
It's a weekly show, though?
When it comes out, it's weekly. Let me rephrase that. The first 10, 12 episodes were one a week. Then he released 5 in a row, or all at once, and then he's going to go back to it. But he's essentially doing that Louis C.K. kind of school of they let him make it when they want. When there's something to talk about, they let him make it. But he had a parody where they had created the ultimate action movie called Hallway. And it was an endless hallway fight. Like, it had literally just kept on going.
Kept going.
Yeah, the guy kept walking through, kept fighting in hallways. Every time he turned, it was another hallway to fight in.
Right.
And it was all filmed with one camera in one take. And that was what they...
See, now that's really...
but this was a parody.
Cool.
So,
yeah, but still, I mean...
But they're parodying what Netflix is doing and what's working, so...
let me see here. Another one that I saw, I believe is a Netflix production too, Upgrade.
That looked good.
And as the guy from Prometheus, which everybody hated, actually, I forget his name.
It has Michael Fassbender. Or
No. Sorry. So this was the.
This is Netflix thinking against somebody else.
Sorry. This is going back to the game again.
I don't know.
This is the husband to Numi Rapace in that one, or the boyfriend. So
they have.
they're the two doctors.
They got Will Smith.
Who did?
Netflix. I mean, they did with Bright or whatever.
I like Bright. Did you see Bright?
No, I did not.
Again, another.
Hey, you had a
really cool sci-fi.
I believe an episode of Z-Man about
on that.
Bright.
You did, yeah.
I did.
Early on.
It was one of the earlier ones, but it was a really cool movie. And Dustin was really cool because he got to talk to me a lot about it, and I just got on board with a lot of them. I was just like, these are really good movies.
Well, I tell you, some of the things that fly under the radar, and it's hard to catch up to them. We're excited about Atypical Season 2. Atypical Season 1 was great.
No, I never saw that. What's that all about?
This kid with Asperger's in high school, and he's coming to terms with his sexuality, being interested in girls. And, his mom is, I forget who the woman is. She was a big actress, not an Arquette or anything like that, but she was someone big at one. And the dad is Michael Rappaport, who's awesome in it.
It's not Molly Ringwald, is it?
No, it's not. But it's Jennifer Jason Leigh. Jason Leigh, and you want to like her, but she's a mom who's stressed out, so she has an affair.
She gets naked. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
She gets naked in a few different movies. Single white female.
Yeah. But Michael Rappaport's awesome in it, and he's subdued.
He's a delight.
He's not over the top cursing Michael Rappaport like he is in real life. He's very subdued. He's good. So that's good. Obviously, they just announced Orange and the New Black season. The next season will be the last.
Oh, wow. That's it.
I just finished Big Mouth Season 2, which was really, really good.
That's Nick Kroll and his writing team getting to do whatever they want.
Yep.
It's nice when you have that kind of autonomy as a...
Yeah, they're just doing it.
They're great.
His favorite's BoJack Horseman.
Yeah,
fantastic show.
Then of course Ozark. Haven't got through it. I
got to start watching that.
There's a couple of shows on there that are very.
Mindhunter is great.
Oh, Missy finally watched that. Heck, even
is that based off of the movie Mindhunters?
No, it's about the FBI developing profiles for serial killers in the 70s.
It's a semi-fictitious look at the real way they created profiling. Yeah,
cool. It's really good. You probably dig it.
Yeah, it sounds neat. See, this is the problem. So much stuff. So
we all have small children who have take up a lot.
The damn good news is it's on an app. It's there forever. It's going nowhere.
Oh, we even talk about Glow.
What's happening?
Oh, Glow's another good one, man. I haven't even got through the last season of it yet.
Yeah, I still need to see the finale.
Yeah. So. What are you doing?
Dude, this thing just started playing.
And that's when the podcast went off the rails.
All I wanted to say was that dude I was talking about.
That's our job.
Go off the rail. It was Logan Marshall Green. That's his name. It's this dude on the far side over there. You recognize him?
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah,
okay.
I do him.
Tom, you recognize him?
Prometheus wasn't a great movie.
But you didn't like it at all?
It's not that I didn't like it at all. It just
did it not tell you enough?
No, they just quit making them alien movies.
Yeah,
and just make them fucking movies because you're screwing up the alien mythology.
You thank Ridley Scott for that one because now he's on this huge AI kick and he wants to continue the path of David and all this stuff.
Yeah, he's lost his mind.
Yeah.
That said, Blade Runner 2049 was awesome.
Blade Runner was amazing.
It was awesome.
I loved it.
I loved it. Not as much as the first, but I understand people that did.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because that was a cult thing. I think it really.
The first is a sci-fi masterpiece, in my opinion.
For the time, it absolutely was,
and it visually still holds up. And they used models.
It does.
Oh, did you see?
There are a lot of movies that do that.
Speaking of Netflix shows,
hey,
The Dark Crystal.
I don't think I know.
You know Dark Crystal?
No.
Oh, Jim Henson's masterpiece?
No.
Look up pictures from The Dark Crystal.
No, I'll probably end up playing a video.
The Dark Crystal was
mid-'80s.
One of two Jim Henson masterpiece films that were so dark that Labyrinth was the other.
Okay.
So Dark Crystal is
that the one with Cruise?
No, that's Unicorn or Legend.
Yeah,
that's good too.
I like Legend.
That Legend was if you like Legend, you got to read the story about it. That was a chaos production. It was supposed to be a totally different movie.
Oh, really?
It was supposed to be way darker, and just it turned out they got involved and wanted to kid it down and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, you could definitely let your kids probably watch that. Oh, what's his name? Who does the
Tim
Curry?
Tim Curry, yeah. Uber versatile Tim Curry.
Was he doing Curry creepy shit?
He was the devil.
Yeah, he was the devil.
He was Pennywise. He was a bad guy in the second Home Alone.
He really is a good actor.
He is the
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
No, that I never really got into myself.
I mean, his best role is Clue.
Clue is
my god, yes.
Supposedly they're remaking Clue.
Long John Silver and Muppet Treasure Island.
Oh yeah.
We're still friends, aren't we, Jim?
But no, so they're doing a Dark Crystal prequel.
Okay.
Series for Netflix.
Okay.
The good news is they're not going to CG anything. It's going to be Henson's Muppets again. His puppets again.
Will Tim Curry be anything?
I think he did.
No, Tim Curry ain't dead.
Did he not die, or is he's on death's door?
I think he's been knocking on the door for a while.
He's that old?
No, he's got cancer.
Oh,
yeah, really bad.
Oh, what a shame.
So he had when they did the Rocky Horror Picture Show for Fox, live.
Yeah.
He had one thing in it. He was the professor that it cut to, and he goes, "It's just a step to the left." And then that was his whole thing because he just can't do it. Oh, he looks bad. I mean, that's not me taking a shot at him.
Dude,
cancer,
man.
Definitely taking its toll on him.
Yeah, it's amazing.
There's a new Jordan Peele series. Speaking of getting Netflix, he's got a new one.
Okay,
and it's going to be awesome. What's his name? Michael K. White from Chalky and The Wire, and he was from Boardwalk Empire, The Wire, the black guy with the scar.
Oh yeah,
he's it's called
coming.
It's called Lovecraft Country, and it is set during the end of slavery in the old U.S.
Yeah,
but it's told from the perspective of H.P. Lovecraft stories.
Interesting.
And it's Jordan Peele, who's now another one of those guys like Danny McBride and Seth Rogen and his partner that
do passion projects.
And they just
and they're doing well.
People are not, and I think the key to it is they're not pigeonholing them into your comedy.
Right.
You can only do comedy.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Because, and for a long time, stand-up comics, of course, have been preaching this. Stand-up comics make some of the best minds because comedy is the hardest thing to do. And if they can do that, doing the other things is kind of easy to their creative mind.
Yep.
Like acting. We talked about it in the last episode. Robin Williams was a brilliant dramatic actor.
Yeah, he was.
Because they knew how to do comedy,
Yeah, no, I agree.
Well, right you are, Ken.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me see here. You want to talk a little about you guys' experience on Dead Nightmare?
Yeah, I don't think the wife's coming down because clearly she would have by now. She probably forgot you were
the game first.
Let's you know what? Let's cut to Tom's game and then we'll end and tease them and we'll talk about when that episode's coming up.
Let's do it.
What is the game, Tom? What's the game?
Would you like to
Tom, tell me the game.
I want to know the game.
I want to play the game.
What's in the okay, I'm just going to throw out there real quick.
Uh-oh.
I just watched 7.
Again?
Because I always
Still
watch
holds
every...
up?
Oh, every... So holds up. I actually watched it twice this season, and I'm telling you, that has got to be one of my most favorite thrillers I've ever seen.
Who knew, though, that Kevin Spacey's character in that wouldn't be as evil as he is in real life.
Oh God, I know. I can't help it. When I was watching, I was like, oh, I guess.
Did he touch Brad Pitt in this film?
I don't think Brad would have allowed it.
No.
All right.
Or Morgan. Yeah, let's do
This
it. What's up?
movie, this game is called Taglines.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to give you a horror movie tagline, and you tell me the movie that it is.
Oh, a tagline? Oh man, this is gonna be rough.
I dig
Taglines I find are awful for most movies.
I got our...
Oh, no, are we spanning like all kinds of...
Hey, this is his game. You'll just play.
So, the first movie
Okay.
is from...
You'll go first, I'll go second on each one. On this one. Well, then we'll rotate it.
So here's for this one, yeah, we'll rotate. It's going to be 10 of them.
Right.
You can steal, though.
Yeah, obviously, you get first crack, and then
Yeah.
I'll get first crack, then you get
Okay.
first. All right, here we go.
All right. And remember, the next scream you hear may be your own. This one
Sounds so familiar. The next screamer might be your own. Oh, well, oh shit. I'm just gonna say Scream. I know that's not it, but God, I know that one.
Well, I'll let you tell him if he's right or wrong first. And then
He's wrong.
Okay, I'm wrong.
he's wrong. So I will... Psycho.
Close.
Ooh.
Right director. The Birds.
The Birds. It
Dude,
sounded like that time frame.
Taglines are so rough.
After round one, the score is knotted at nothing.
Ooh.
All right, I
All
get
right.
this one.
Who will survive, and what will be left of them?
Ooh, who will survive? I'm going to say Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Bam! He gets it.
Oh, and I wouldn't have guessed it. So
Yeah, just the body part thing, man. All right,
That's not bad.
you're up next.
The night he came home.
Oh, that's Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah, good one.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you. Hey, I'm on the board. Hey, guys.
Yes, you are.
Right, you are.
All right, Jeremy. We're on our, I believe, our third
Fourth one.
Fourth one.
Fourth one, yeah.
Man is the warmest place to hide.
Ooh, The Thing.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
Wow. This one's a little easier for our guest. If Nancy doesn't wake up screaming, she won't wake up at all.
Wait a minute.
This is layup.
Really?
Oh man.
No. Sorry, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Correct.
I'm going to take his
Correct.
first answer of Friday.
No.
It was not Friday. In fact, it was not Ice Cube at all.
That was my brain just not working, but I totally meant Nightmare. Totally meant Nightmare.
All right. Jeremy,
Okay.
be afraid. Be very afraid.
Oh.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Oh, gosh.
Friday the 13th.
Is it correct?
Oh man.
Hellraiser?
The Fly.
Oh, that's a good zeros there. Something more of a sci-fi.
Yeah, it is, but I mean...
He tricked us.
I know it's a thriller, though.
I'm not going to give you the last sentence because it's too easy.
Oh,
but
so
still-
is this me or you? This
There
is
was a both,
this is
like,
for our
first
guest
first.
here.
oh.
Sleep all day, party all night, never grow old, never die.
Lost Boys?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love that movie, Lost Boys. Would you have gotten that one?
Yeah, I would have got
Okay.
that one. Yeah.
All right.
Number-
I feel like I need to give the host the most an easy one here.
Sure.
Sometimes, dead's better.
Oh, you jackass.
That would be Pet Cemetery.
No, that's an easy one.
Yeah, and again another good-looking remake.
Did you? Yeah, I didn't. I just found that out like a week ago.
Oh yeah, I knew they were making it. John Lithgow's a good person to put in that thing.
It is. I'm curious to see how this goes. I really am.
Man, they fucking hit a home run with it. It was awesome.
True story.
Yeah, well, my daughters just watched it and loved it, and my oldest is scared of clowns.
How old's your youngest?
Oh, she's 8. She thought it was great.
Really?
She thought it was boring up until he came out of the wall in the
when they're
garage.
on the. Oh yeah.
And then she was in it was a roller coaster for her, and as long as we told her that they didn't die, she was in it.
Okay.
But man,
Not yet, at
our
least.
kids are great in spite of our bad parenting.
All right, which one are we at?
We're at number 9, which would be our guest.
Okay.
All right.
Guess.
What's the score?
3-3.
Oh.
Everything you've heard is true.
Oh man. Okay. Everything you've heard is true. Oh man. I can't even. Rosemary's Baby. I have no idea.
Okay, everything you heard is true. Oh boy, I'm going to say
That's tough. Whoa.
He wouldn't go obscure on us my knee jerk was Videodrone, but I don't think it's that.
Oh, wow.
So everything you heard is true. God damn, I don't know. I'm going to say Poltergeist.
Blair Witch Project.
Oh, good
okay.
one.
All right.
Good one. All right, this is going to end with me. This is a make or break one right here.
Oh, boy.
Something has found us.
Something has found us. There's only two. One, the first one that pops in my head. I'm not going to say it yet because I'm going to think. Let's see. Something has found us.
Something has found us.
Predator. Nope.
No, sir.
Man, it's not a scary movie for one.
I know, but I know what you mean. I mean, it feels like that vibe. I'm going to go back with Poltergeist.
Cloverfield.
Oh, so you went newer. Okay.
Again.
Something has found us.
We need a tie.
Poltergeist, by the way, is there here.
They're here.
Oh, is it just they're here?
And then they're back is
All
the
right,
second
so
one.
tiebreaker.
All right, here's the tiebreaker.
Okay.
What's our tiebreaker rule here?
Yeah, what do we got here?
I'm just going to keep running them out till one
Oh,
of you
okay.
gets it.
All right,
This
so it
is
would be you first.
Overtime. Just because you're invited doesn't mean you're welcome.
Oh, man. This is so hard. Just because you're invited doesn't mean you're welcome. Trying to think of movies where somebody would have come over and... Like Slumber Party?
No, sir.
Valentine's Day?
Get out.
Get Out. Oh, that's a great one. We should have
See,
known
I'm
that.
going way old. I'm thinking like I'm stuck in old.
Well, that's a
Alright.
good one. All right, I'm Nick. I'm first in this one.
It doesn't think, it doesn't feel, it doesn't give up.
It doesn't think. It doesn't feel. It doesn't give up.
Jeez, oh crap.
Oh, this is a good one. It doesn't think. It doesn't feel. I'm thinking of a robot or a mindless killing machine. Christine.
No, sir.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that. It doesn't feel, it doesn't think, it doesn't give up. It's relentless. It doesn't think?
Does not think. Well, I guess Christine was a thinker.
Well, I mean, everything would, wouldn't it? I don't even know what to say. I'm so lost.
My other one was going to be Phantasm, but I know that's not it.
Well, that's...
Because those balls.
Yeah,
The silver ball, murder balls.
I gotta be honest, I got nothing.
It follows.
Oh, It Follows was a good one, man.
That was a good one.
Now, another social commentary of a scary movie.
Very
you know?
good.
So
Sorry, guys, that was lame. I should at least come up with something, but I'm lost on these.
Yeah, well, maybe you can redeem yourself by taking home the prize right here.
Okay, let's see. Let's see what we got.
This is gonna come to an end.
Let's see. I feel like I need something.
Maybe need to start saying
I thought we were
give us
gonna-
a decade or something. Maybe
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
So I'm going to give you a layup. Because he's our guest.
He's our guest.
I guess I gotta win.
Trapped in time. Surrounded by evil. Low on gas.
Oh, Evil Dead? Or
Evil
no.
Dead 2?
Oh, you're both wrong.
Army of Darkness.
Oh,
Army of
see,
Darkness
that's
is
the
the
funny
third
thing.
one.
I
It
was
the
leaning
third
towards
one.
Army,
Yeah.
but so you
Darn
need
it.
a specific title. I should have said Army.
Well, that was Army of Darkness.
Well, when you
that's
said
right.
Out of Gas, I was like, well, that's got to be Army because he's stuck in a time.
Yeah, and that's the only one where he's back in time.
Well, damn
too.
it. That was... Oh, I should have said
Yeah,
that.
we should have done
well,
that
we
one.
both jacked that one.
Yeah, we did.
Damn it, guys.
Okay,
All right.
another easy.
Last one.
Okay.
No,
Last one.
regardless.
All right, here we go.
Regardless.
Stay with us.
He'll tear your soul apart.
He'll tear your soul apart. Hellraiser?
There we go.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, he's
Well
a
played.
master of games.
Another remaker. They're doing a remake for that.
All right, it's about time, too. I
Yeah.
mean, that's like...
Tell you what, Hellraiser 1, for me as a kid, was the scariest any movie made.
I need to rewatch that one.
And gross.
Yeah.
Also, by the way...
I'm a fan of 3. I don't know why.
The unofficial sequel was, before they made the Hellraiser in space, they did it called Event Horizon, which was also...
Horizon was amazing.
the movie that was the director was a psychology major, and he intentionally made his sets to cause discomfort, and actors were throwing up during the filming of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, apparently the color green is a discomforting color,
Didn't know it.
and he would use
When they were in
green
the
lighting
ducts or whatever,
and claustrophobic sets, and
Yeah, Sam Neill, Lawrence Fishburne.
good cast.
Anyways,
Yeah, good cast.
well done.
Um,
Congratulations.
Hey, speaking of things
Thank you,
that
Tom, for the game.
never come to an end, we're not talking about The Walking Dead. We're talking about Dead Nightmare.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, honestly, it's just as good, really, if you think about it.
I mean, it's Walking Dead without the production costs and all the money.
Give me a budget, some actors,
and
I'll
acclaim.
make you a zombie movie.
And we say without the acclaim, but it's an acclaimed.
It is acclaimed
for special effects.
Well, hey, if I
We're
win
on there.
Powerball tonight, I'll give you $1 million to make your movie.
I forgot to play.
I'll try and make your return.
I forgot to play. Will you give me $10 million if you win?
$10 million?
$1 million.
How much is it worth?
$800
No,
million.
I didn't play Mega Millions. I played
Powerball. Powerball's 300
because I
something
fucked
million.
that up.
I'm going to play Mega Millions tomorrow.
Give me at least 5. I need at least 5 to make a really good movie. I need 5.
That's not Powerball's not tonight, is it?
Powerball's on Wednesday and Saturdays.
Okay, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays or Fridays for the other one.
I'll never win because I
Yeah,
don't
okay.
play.
If I win, I'll give you each $1 million. $5 million.
All right,
No.
I'll take the
Well,
million.
I said, why can't I negotiated down to $1 million?
I'll take the $1 million. I'll go put it on black, and then maybe I'll have $2 million, or maybe I'll have nothing. I don't know. Just throwing it
I
out
like
there.
it.
But either way, okay. So Dead Nightmare.
Dead Nightmare.
Let's talk. So tell me. Okay, so we had these guys come on. I wanted you guys to play a different type of surviving crew that are a little bit more cutthroat, and so instead of trying to help others and just survive, they're trying to survive, but they're just killing and taking whatever they can.
They're heels. I think what he's trying to say, kicking ass and taking names.
They are, and they
Snapping
have
necks and cashing checks.
Yeah.
That is until they come into an encounter.
Breaking hearts and cutting farts.
Yep.
Is that
Is
not
that-
it? That's not it.
is that my
I don't
tagline?
I don't think that's it. I think
No.
we're just
So we go to the Zombie World version of the Carolina Wine Mixer.
yeah, the fucking Catalina Wine
Wine
Massacre.
Yeah, there you go.
So we were on your show. You introduced us as a group of bad guys,
Yep.
led by me because I wouldn't have let you back on the podcast if you didn't.
True.
Um,
And you are like 8 feet tall.
and Bender's the wimpiest character we have. He's very concerned
Is
of his
that
son.
wait? Is that compared to Jeremiah too?
Oh yeah, Jeremiah's tougher than him on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, you are, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Good for you, bud.
So
He doesn't listen. He doesn't patron.
So you came over one Saturday or Sunday? Can't
Yeah, I think
remember.
it was a Saturday or
and
something
we
like-
we spent a good while.
4 hours?
Yeah,
maybe?
4 hours
5?
Oh,
filming
God,
our.
was that long? I thought we knocked out quicker than that.
Well, I think we could have maybe tried to up the pace, but I'm glad we didn't because I find every time we start rushing, that's when mistakes and just things are just not working.
And
Yeah.
we finished with one scene tonight,
Yes,
and
we
some,
did.
and then some ADR tonight.
Yeah, which is an after credit scene. So if you can hang in there, which I got at least a decent song for those credits. So if you can hang in there,
Nice.
it'll kind of be a lead into episode 7, which I gotta be honest is nowhere near even close to being. Anything
But
ready.
but you have a direction though.
Do have a
You have a
direction.
dire-
We have thoughts. We just got to start getting things narrowed down and scheduling, and that is going to be the ultimate. You know what? So
yeah, that happens. So it's gonna happen.
it is.
Um,
And we're going back to our other crew, which was Dustin and let me see here, Shannon and some of those. And we actually thought we almost lost a few of them just due to family events and stuff. But a lot of them are all coming back, so that's
Nice.
cool. So that's fun.
Good.
Yeah.
And we got some. I actually scouted some new locations, not a ton. In fact, I got to keep working on that.
The
And,
zoo,
oh god, that would be amazing.
That would be good.
City
be-
Museum.
Wow.
Yeah, we
He's-
didn't.
Man, you really do have a nice budget.
He's starting to pull some strings.
Okay, well, you're totally making these up. So
The
I,
arch. In fact, they're going to let him hang someone from the middle of the arch.
The McDonald's riverboat?
Yeah,
Maybe
I
the zombie.
could have that one.
yeah, that one's at the
Zombie
bottom
can-
of a lake somewhere,
Yeah.
or the river somewhere.
But I did find a couple new locations, so I actually just drove out. I was looking for some cornfields, actually, which obviously they're all mowed down now. But I did find some areas.
Did you see any children of these cornfields?
There was no children of the corn.
Oh,
That would have been a bad
Which-
one.
which we didn't
No
wanna talk
kids
about that
named
one.
Malachi, right?
Yeah, that's some jacked up kids.
That was a good one. Yeah, so I told you.
What'd you think?
We'll talk in the beginning. Some of our thoughts, Tom, of what we thought, or our feelings about filming it one day. I'll tell you what I thought when we were in the middle of it. I had fun. You did a lot of retakes. You did a couple of different angles. You do a lot of things, and you kind of see. Obviously on a smaller scale, but you kind of see that acting's not necessarily all lollipops and rainbows.
It is not.
Kind of sucks sometimes, like having to shoot the same scene over and over and over and over with different angles. That
Well,
could
it
be.
sucks when your fellow actors can't get shit down right, and you have to keep taking other takes.
We're talking about
Bender.
Bender.
So,
Yeah, Bender.
You understand why some people are in big
Well,
budget movies and some
Yes.
people are doing porn?
Yeah.
Yes, well, he can't do porn. He got to have the. He doesn't
He's
have the.
pretty enough for it.
He doesn't have the
He-
proper equipment.
He's got the 4-pack.
Yeah, it used to be a 6-pack, but he's letting himself go.
Too much drinking.
But So all that said,
Yes.
I enjoyed the day. It didn't bother me. I did tell you if I had one criticism of you, you got to quit apologizing for making us do it.
Oh, I know. I'm like,
Yeah.
can you guys just do that again?
We
Just do it
we,
again?
we agreed
Yeah,
to do
very
it.
nice.
I know.
So we're there.
You are
Right
not
on.
Roman Polanski, that's for sure.
I had,
Right.
you know, and it wasn't until, and I know this is kind of silly, but it wasn't until you did that teaser for it. And there's nothing wrong with the teaser. I don't want you to think I'm saying that.
Sure.
But when I saw the little quick cut of me
Oh,
and
you're
Missy,
talking about I'm sorry.
the preview.
Yeah, the preview.
So when I saw the little quick cut of me and Missy,
Yes.
I instantly thought, not that there was anything wrong with what you showed, but I thought, man, was I really as comfortable as I thought I was back then? I didn't get caught up in worrying about my performance until after I was like, it's going to come out. I wonder if my performance was good.
So the beauty of shooting multiple shots and
Yeah.
retakes is that I have more footage to which usually
To show
I,
my sexy angles.
I have just enough usually, and that is a dangerous thing to have because
Yeah.
you're on the wire, and sometimes I'm there. But luckily, so I got to be honest. So there was, I call it football on me, some of my writing capabilities, but I had.
I'd agree if there's any problems, it's the script.
Is that the script?
Yeah.
Then the screenplay?
It's not the acting.
Well,
of course
no,
not.
clearly not,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
yeah.
But there's a line that I gave Missy, and it said, "It goes, did you see their faces?" And it was a little bit of the line, but it was also the execution of, unfortunately, of Missy too, because it just seemed a little bit more like kind of like jokingly, but not. I want you guys to be darker. And,
Yeah.
and I didn't write you as dark as I probably.
I get
could've.
that. Well, and again, not criticizing you, but you told me that we were going to be dark going into it, and I felt like
Just wasn't as dark.
we were caught between being dark and being maniacal, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
and we weren't.
I guess it is kind of a fine line.
You already had a crazy guy,
Right, yeah.
and you didn't need us to be crazy. I felt if there's one thing going forward, and I think you did it tonight in the post credit.
Okay.
I feel like you need to make us more serious.
More serious. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so serious.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Right. Yeah.
And I could
Maybe
see
I'll
where
do
you would,
that. I don't
you see where that line probably didn't fit us being.
And I didn't use it, but what I did is I used it kind of in the background when I was looking at Mike in that area. You'll notice when you watch it, I did some of those lines are in the background,
He
kind
was
of
little
like
trickanery.
yeah,
Yeah.
little tricks, but
Editing trickanery.
I think the most important part was I was supposed to die, and I acted my way out of
Yeah.
living.
he
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
I was so impressed with Tom's, at least in my opinion, that I let him live.
Don't thank me. Thank the Smith Jesuit High School for giving me one semester of acting.
Do you think
I mean,
maybe
really.
though? Do you think maybe that it was his acting like he was dying was so awful that you just decided to
I
keep
was just
him
like,
alive?
man, I guess got to keep this guy alive a little bit longer.
I enjoyed it. I
flopping
enjoyed it. I'm
around,
looking
like-
forward to seeing it.
I think what's
Me too.
really cool about our story is like, yeah, if somebody were to go out and watch our director's cut right now, getting through the first few episodes is going to probably be a little rough because you're going to be like, man, so this acting needs so much work. But I think if you could hold in there, you're going to really see how far we've come
Yeah.
as you start moving through these episodes. And even some of the actors, some of the ones that were even terrible, have at least become where it's like, okay, they're not awful.
And
they're
Do you
not
want to give
good.
names?
I probably should.
Well, and like-
Unless I would keep my
Well,
cast.
and like with us though,
Has anybody else acted their way out of not being killed before?
Not yet. Of course, Tom, we were just talking about that too. Because what did I say? I said, well, there's only a couple things I could do, and I said I can either give people that are great at action scenes more actions and less dialog and then Tom just blatantly just threw it out there, or you just kill their asses off. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's true too.
Well, I'll
Good
tell
thing
you
about a Tommy
this.
show.
You talk about getting better. One of the things that helps with getting better, and I'm not saying this because we were so awesome. Obviously, we were. But
I can't wait to hear your
but
your
you're
fan.
you're also starting to get people that have actually watched it to be in it, and that helps because now,
Absolutely.
not necessarily as a criticism to the early on performances, but
Sure.
now we know where you needed to improve, or we know where you're going,
and
or
you
we
have baseline. You can be like, wow. So if I could maybe take that performance and just go
or,
off of it,
or in the best compliment is we feel close to the material because
Yes.
we've seen it.
Yes.
we know what the story
You're
is.
very humble. I mean, Dead Nightmare 1 has...
No, you're humble.
I'm Silver Badge.
right?
and
Well,
also
that's
humble.
that's true too.
But Dead Nightmare Episode 1 has, over 100,000 people
Yeah,
views
in fact,
on YouTube?
my
I mean, that's
direct-
fantastic.
okay, so this is really
To
weird.
make you feel a little worse, I've watched it literally 12,000 times.
Get out of here. But I will say, though, very odd, right? So I put a director's cut out there because I actually did tweak some things, a few music choices I didn't enjoy, and
Yeah.
just made it flow a little bit better. Anyways, as of like a month and a half ago, it had like literally 3,000 views. It was out there for like 2.5 years. Suddenly, YouTube engine picks it up. We're at like 130.
That's weird.
Yeah, right.
So somehow the algorithm keyed on something.
And for what? I mean, it's not like it had a splurge in viewers because that's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
And this now has 130,000 views on it, which has now beat out my episode just standalone one. Has more likes. I have like an 82, 83%. So at least I know we're doing something right.
Right.
Like, people can criticize as much as they want, but you can't go against the production value of what we've tried to achieve here. And under what?
Well,
what? A couple
so your
$1,000
production and your production value is also all self-taught. Everything
right.
from
Right.
editing to special effects to directing, it's all self-taught. So I mean,
Lord.
you.
Yeah,
I would love to collaborate honestly with others though. So I mean, because it takes some. But I thought about that too because when you start to collaborate, now you have to start sharing.
Well,
it's like owning a company. I mean,
Yeah.
Dead Nightmare and everything for you is a company.
Right.
You have to figure out how much you want to
give up.
Well, we talked about earlier too about doing collaborations, and that's how you collaborate. You
Right.
do stuff like not necessarily just with us, but do stuff outside of Dead Nightmare.
Yes.
Where it's that way you're not so you don't have there's not the huggery because you want to hug your thing.
Yes. Yes.
Another thing too and this is a pitfall that I think you want to tread lightly. Is you started out with a very inclusive story with that first one with just one guy.
Yes.
And you've added a large cast.
Yeah, I agree.
And not necessarily just because it's hard getting all those people together, which you're fighting.
Yes.
Even with our small little group, you're fighting.
Yeah.
But you also, that's where writing is going to get tricky.
Yes. And now luckily we're ready to start. We've gone through enough now. We've had enough adventures. It's time to start killing people off. And so not only just because it's time, but also some people, they're
There has to be stakes.
There is.
You have to have stakes.
Yeah, and
for
I
it,
am a big. I hate the shows where it's like literally they live through every single thing. It's like, well, then okay, I get it. They're gonna do some stuff. They're gonna live. Let's not do that. And it's about that time. And so that almost happened to you, Tom. But I just had a feeling that having you around for a little bit more might be useful. So
it may
You're
make
here,
his death more
folks.
spectacular.
Every episode, I'm going to act my balls off.
Yeah.
We'll survive.
yeah, you'll
another
be
episode.
expecting a lot out of Tom. But what I liked about Tom, and you'll see it, and it's only a few lines, but Tom actually tried to give his character some character. And you know what? I have to really challenge my other actors. I'm going to have them listen to this too, and I'm going to tell them too. I need you guys to stop just going in and winging it. I need you to think about your character a little bit and stop acting like it's like you.
And you
in this
sent us
position.
the script, and we read it.
True. Now, by the way, last minute, it was only had like a week, if that. And I got to fix that. I got to
A
get
week
these
is
stuff.
something, though. I mean,
You know why I do that the most? And because I know I could give this thing out 4 months ahead of time, and I know people are going to wait till the last minute usually to start.
we
reviewing
read the
it.
damn thing. We
I
talked
appreciate
about
it.
it
We talked
going
about it.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, that's what helps. You have an understanding. But I swear to you, I had to do. Okay, so I won't. Well, they know who they are. But basically, I had to have two of the actors. So we reshot their scene 3 times.
Yeah.
So the first time, my mistake. Extremely dark room. Dialogue was a little choppy, whatever like that. Fine. Didn't work. Next time, showed up to the room. Better lighting. Switched up the dialogue a little bit. Finally brought it back to the editing table, cutting room floor, if you will, just trying to see how it's going.
No. You actually don't cut things anymore.
No, yeah, that's true.
I'm just
It's kind of like it's like a digital thing. Like they just hit the delete button. But basically, I had like this kind of uppity, kind of intense scene going on. But I had to switch to these guys, which was like this kind of slower, kind of like confession. Like, I'm sorry about the things that have gone down, the animosity between us.
Yeah.
Was not flowing. So I was like, fudge me, I'm so screwed. So called an emergency
Thanks for
session.
self-editing, by the way.
Right. Yeah, self-edited.
Fudge me.
Fudge me. But I had to, I rewrote the script literally in a night, which I think I do better under pressure, to be honest. But either way, I rewrote it in a night. Under pressure. And we got back together and we shot, and honestly, it turned out a lot better. It flowed, it made sense. And so I'm really curious to see what you guys think about it. And be fully honest. I mean, if you're just like, gotta be honest, didn't quite do it, hey, that's all good too, because we keep trying to bring what we can. And you know what's the worst part of this? The locations. See, most stories, you write an awesome story, and then you just go spend money and you go find locations. Me, I have to find the locations to write my story around.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? It's like reverse engineering, and
That
it
makes
blows so bad. So,
Well, I just think that's probably, for instance, that's in the past, Kevin Smith had to change the way he told a story because he could only have access to the Quickie Mart at night.
oh wow.
That's why they put that's why he couldn't get the lock open, the gum in the lock, because they filmed the whole thing at night.
Yeah.
So that was their excuse for having the sheet up over. I assure you we're open. He's like, they're only going to let me shoot at night, so I gotta change something.
Which I'm glad. I'm so glad we're right here. I need you to help me. If you'll have me, you might not. You might may have written me off, but I want to see if we can get back in at Shamrocks because we're ready.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
We're ready.
We
I mean, like here's what happened the last time. We came up with the pitch. I was pretty much ready to go. Unfortunately, I got slammed at work with a bunch of video projects.
Oh, fucking work.
And plus, I was trying to get episode 5 rocking at the same time. Just totally ate up all the time.
We can do it.
But I think over the slow season, over the winter. I think we got a winner here.
We can do it. I'm
we
down.
also probably do the beer sauce shop.
Yeah, we can do.
I
we
think
can do whatever.
Hell, maybe the beer sauce shop should be casting while the thing goes down. Oh, but would that be a cool thing if that's how you guys got out? Except that's a little too
meta.
coincidental.
Too meta for our podcast.
Well,
no.
Well, just the idea that it just so happens that these really bad guys happen to be a podcast crew before. I mean, hey, if you want to build it in, I'm down.
That would explain why we kept Bender around.
And you didn't kill him.
Yeah,
true.
I mean, you wouldn't eat him. He's too skinny.
I think one of us has to kill Bender. Either
back
Jeremy or I.
Well, see, we got to talk because I have thoughts around that. Because remember how Jeremiah was kind of becoming not a problem.
Oh, I'll kill a kid. I'll fucking kill a kid.
I think
gotta be stakes, man.
Something's gonna go down. But you had a moment with Jeremiah there for a minute. Like you were trying to at that.
That's true.
You know what I'm talking about. So, but I think you.
Yeah. Well, if I'm gonna be a mean leader, I gotta start murdering.
I got
people.
some really dark stuff going on. We're gonna talk before long. So,
you don't know what's going on in here.
I'm just gonna plug it one last time. If you have not checked this out, please head out to deadnightmare.com. Check out the series, please, because it is pretty cool. Like and subscribe. It's good times.
Eli Roth, back to that show we were talking about earlier.
Right.
He had said that he had been approached 1,000,000 times for doing TV shows, and he wouldn't do it because he said, "You tune into a horror movie to see people die. You tune into a TV show to see characters live." And he said, "I didn't think I could do it." But like we talking about stakes, Walking Dead has proved in a serialized format you can kill off your main characters and still maintain a watchable show.
Yeah.
And to what you're talking about, you can start killing people off now because there has to be weight to the decisions they make.
And there's too many. I mean, I don't need 9 survivors, between 2 different crews. And by the way, those 2 crews hopefully are going to merge, and then that makes things a lot easier for me too.
Yeah.
But on a little side note for that Walking Dead, I think so. They were talking about their viewership and how it's been declining ever since. So supposedly after every major death, like a major character death, they see a huge drop.
That makes sense.
Yeah, people have their favorites.
So, which stands to reason, Maggie mid-season and Rick. Is it Rick by the end of season 9?
I think Rick's through the whole thing.
Okay, and I think Maggie was mid.
Yeah.
But that's your 2. Those were 2 of the bigwigs, right?
Last vestiges of the heart, and then Carol, heart and soul of the show.
Right? And I just...
anybody tune in for Maggie?
Oh, that's Caitlin's favorite character.
Yeah, and she's a good-looking girl, too. And there's something about her, too.
By the way, she gets naked in Van Wilder, Rise of Taj.
I never saw that one.
Yeah, at the very end of it.
Maggie was a rough addition to this Chuck TV
show.
Well,
by the way, Rise of Taj is a flat awful.
I was going to say,
I think that was
I don't remember it being amazing.
I was watching it. I got up one morning and I was doing something for the podcast, maybe editing or something, one early Sunday morning, and it happened to be on like Cinemax.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll be damn, Maggie's in this. And then 40 minutes goes by, and I can't turn it now because it's on.
I've already emotionally invested in it.
And then it gets to the last 20 minutes, and I'm sitting there, I'm just kind of half cocked watching it, and then whoa, that was Maggie's. I gotta rewind that. Hey, that's Maggie's boobs.
But I will say what they're doing with their character, and it's kind of interesting. So I'm curious. I mean, between Rick and her, are they just gonna like walk off into the sunset? Is someone gonna really back it up?
Are they gonna fuck?
I'm gonna be very honest.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will either. But I'll tell you, if they kill, in which I heard there was a thing about Rick, Andrew Lincoln's character. He says this isn't probably the end of Rick.
Rick's leaving the show.
Yeah, but for now,
not kill either one of them. I think he said, "I'm leaving the show." He didn't say, "I'm done with the show."
Right.
And he may. I mean, they said the show's good. AMC wants the show to go on for 10 more years.
I know, right? Which I mean, I'm not going to say no, but it's like, damn, how are you going to do that?
Yeah, they want it to be the longest running show on TV. They have to.
Well, they had to beat out Lost and X-Files and.
Well, Lost isn't even close. Gunsmoke and
drama.
Okay. SVU or not? Criminal Law and Order. I mean,
Law and Order is done.
Sorry, excuse me.
Is it? I don't know.
I think Law and Order
NCIS is also big.
SVU is
still going.
It's still going as strong as it ever was. And I'm like, how many
CSI
different types of rape cases can you have?
Yeah.
Well, I think Simpsons beat Gunsmoke. I think this year.
Simpsons has gone on forever, but
I remember back when they said 10 years ago, they're like, "Yep, this is the last season." I'm like, okay, that clearly
didn't happen.
Yeah.
The weirdest show of all time because it's been bad for longer than it's been good.
Which one?
Simpsons.
You know, my buddy used
That
to
is,
love
it's-
it. He won't even watch it. He says he's done.
It's like SNL. I'll tune in to 1 or 2 episodes a year, and I'll chuckle a couple times, but it's just...
Yeah, just that.
It is The Simpsons. 636 episodes, the longest running scripted show, surpassing Gunsmoke 635.
Oh,
Yep.
and it's still going.
Yeah.
Gunsmoke.
Oh.
What?
Year-wise, though, and this is something I was going to get into to throw it to Missy, and I'll come back to it now. Year-wise, Doctor Who. Doctor Who's longest running show.
You know, do you watch that?
We're going to get into it here in a little bit.
Okay.
On the Throw It to Missy segment. We will.
Because I know they've had different Who's along the way, right?
Yes.
Doctors.
Yes,
Sorry.
there's a reason. But we're going to get into it.
Okay.
Yeah, way to tease the close.
I'll rock it.
Yeah, so let's go back and wrap up, put a bow on the newest episode. What's the title of the new episode?
It's called Strange Paths.
Strange Paths, and it is episode 6. Okay.
Which are you guys gonna? I mean, if any of you have been following us, this is actually a 40-minute episode. So if you, if you think of the average one, mine are usually. So really, this is 2 episodes. But honestly, I've been staring at it for so long. I'm like, you know what? You guys been waiting for almost a year for this stuff. Here you go. So 40 minutes.
Feel like for 40 minutes we got not a lot of screen time.
Yeah. Well, you guys got introduced.
Yeah, I guess it is
introduced.
an introduction. Okay.
Yeah. The next one, you guys will have a very.
I
big part in.
better chop something up.
I'm in.
Which, by the way, if I can get you all scheduled, Jesus Lord, this is going to be the biggest.
Winter's way easier. Winter's
easier?
Yeah,
Okay.
by far, yeah.
Yeah, and I got to find a way to shoot in the colder months without, because we got to be outside.
And actually, to be honest with you, when it does get warm, when we're just there's a stretch where softball is the only sport my kids play. Mm-hmm. It's at the end of softball season, like we've ran into here.
Yeah.
There's the overlap between softball and soccer, and that's where, because we'll have 2 soccer practices, 2 soccer games, a softball game.
Yeah,
that's 5 of the 7 days a week.
And that sucks because October and November are 2 of the most, well, maybe not November, but beautiful months usually.
They are beautiful, but you don't have a lot of daylight.
Nope, we don't. You lose a whole at least hour and a half. In fact, we ran into it tonight.
Yeah.
Well, that was traffic's fault, really.
Yeah, on the way back, I was supposed to head over there and get that scene done.
Yeah.
It takes me about 40 minutes to get home in the evening. It took me an hour and 40 minutes today because of 2 wrecks in the same stretch of 270.
So I have to be honest, and I probably should have said this. And this is important because this is my project. I can't expect everybody else to be thinking. Everybody out there's their lives or jobs. But a smart thing we said, "Hey Jeremy, by the way, bring your clothes to work, change, and then meet me out there."
Well, my thing was I didn't think I was going back to work because I told you my week got there was a curveball thrown at me this week and I've had to
I remember you saying
that. And so I didn't know I had no clue. I actually, to be honest with you, as I was driving today, was like, shit, there's no way I'm making it. Like tomorrow, there's no way I could do it tomorrow. I know tomorrow's going to go long.
Which, by the way, it's not to say I couldn't have pushed this out a few more days, this and that, but I'm just like, why?
So
but I'm going to be honest, though. I'm going to get home and I'm going to try it out. And if it does not, because I want that scene, and if it's not there, then you said Saturday, right?
Yeah, I can do Saturday.
So I may grab just you, and and I can even do it on your street. It doesn't have to be Jeff's.
We'll do it wherever we'll go down to the end, so it doesn't look the same. Whatever, yeah.
But that's the point. You almost can't make this shit stuff up. Excuse me. Sorry, there's another bleep.
Quit your fucking cussing.
Listen, jackass. But you can't though. The things that go down. The guy with the lawnmower across the street. When I was shooting Mike, you were out there with the boom mic that night or that day. Excuse me. Remember the guy in the background? I'm just like, you just can't.
And my neighbor mows 6 times a week, and it just happened.
Got fine looking lawn.
It's weird. It's weird.
The train tracks where you're going to see one of the main scenes where our original crew gets attacked by some zombies. They have developed literally not 20 yards from that. Are developing a huge ass plot for a new,
I thought he was going to say train kept running by, and I think we act through that and act like the train's not there.
Dude, we almost got ran over by a train. I swear to you, we were like looking down the way, and all of a sudden somebody was like, "What is that down there?" And we looked down, and there's a damn train coming around the corner. I mean, we had enough time, but it was like, man, I'm glad because we had bags on the tracks and stuff.
Oh shit!
Yeah. I mean,
you should have had someone.
You
should have had someone not in the scene lay with their ear on the track because that's the way you find out if the train's coming.
From a movie or something where somebody like listens to the track.
Yeah. Stand by Me, man.
Yeah. Ooh, another great thriller. Hey, going back a little bit, Silver Bullet. God, I'm ready to watch that.
What's Stephen King's best movie? We talked about this.
What is Stephen King's best movie?
Yeah, the best movie based on a Stephen King story. Ooh. We did this on the episode, and I said, lay up Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, well.
But Stand By Me is pretty fucking good, too.
Stand By Me is pretty good.
I never got into it. I need to watch. I need just a good watch.
My jaw literally hit the floor.
I've watched pieces of it, but I've never watched it all completely, one complete
good
segment.
Keith Sutherland. still.
Yeah, bad guy. In
Oh,
it.
he's a bad guy, right?
He's a bad guy.
He's a
Yeah.
heel.
I know
Yeah.
almost all of it.
Oh man, yeah.
I remember the pie scene. I remember a lot of the pieces.
Launched
of
the
it,
career of one William Crusher or Ensign Crusher. That would be Wheaton, Will Wheaton.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Wesley Crusher, that was his name. Wesley Crusher. His career, River Phoenix. The Corey Feldman, the crazy Corey. You know, the other one didn't live
Jerry
long enough
O'Connell?
here. Jerry
Yeah.
O'Connell,
Play football, Jerry.
fat Jerry O'Connell before he was cush shape.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, good movie, good crew.
Hey, there's this. I always call. There's always those few that sometimes
turned
fall
my
through the cracks.
inboard motor into an outboard motor. Mr. Richard Dreyfuss himself.
Great,
Richard
great.
Dreyfuss was in that one?
He's the
He's the narrator.
narrator. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Watched Jaws recently too. That was fun too.
Well, I mean, Jaws is arguably the greatest movie ever made.
You ever listen about the production of that? About it was pretty much a make or break for Steven Spielberg.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that movie was literally. He said it was going to make or break my career.
we
And-
learned from Bender that a person was murdered and is an extra in that film.
Really.
There's a theory, and Joe Hill, Stephen King's son,
Okay.
is the one that perpetuated this theory. Is apparently there was a murder that took place near where that the set was, and the woman was decapitated and her hands cut off, like to keep you from identifying the body. So all they had was her clothes and the hat laying nearby, and it matches this description of an extra in one of the beach scenes.
jeez.
So they think one of the extras was the one murdered. So Joe Hill happened to be watching this, saw that, called like Spielberg's crew and says, "Hey, I think you guys should find out who your extras were,
Yeah.
paid," but they didn't keep records back then.
Oh no.
They just, here's your $50, go be in the background of this scene.
How crazy.
Yeah, that would be weird. That's weird.
I thought it was fun. The greatest thing, and you talk about movies and just the creation, how things go down. But I was going to say real quick that the shark wasn't even ready until the end of the movie.
And that's why you didn't see it?
Yeah, no, and then remember that opening scene where you never see it, right? And that literally, that's where the first concept came across of what if you didn't see what was actually happening? Is that more terrifying?
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
it is more
And
terrifying.
then it was perfected in Halloween. Which came first, Halloween or Jaws?
Jaws is 75.
How so?
Halloween is
yeah,
80, yeah.
No, first Halloween was 78.
So
It's actually a 70s movie, believe it or not.
So Carpenter had to know that he had to have been a big Jaws fan. He was like,
Yeah.
I can make a great movie because that's a great movie, and you don't
Yeah.
see the fucking bad guy through the whole thing. So
Yeah.
had
Well,
to be.
They even call him the Shape, and a lot of
The Shape was what he was credited as. Yeah.
Right. Anyways,
Yeah.
fun times.
Hey,
Love cinema.
we'll go ahead and start wrapping up, but we always wrap up in this show by throwing it to Missy. Obviously, Missy's not here, and this is just the quick hits where we just last things that pop in your mind. I'm characteristically, and for the second week in a row, I'm going to start because you brought up a while ago. We talked about the longest running show, Doctor Who. I just want to say we're 2 episodes into the very first female Doctor Who.
Yeah, I saw it on a.
And she's very fun. It's a very fun. She's different. Every doctor gets judged by the previous doctor, and the one good thing she has going for her is Peter Capaldi wasn't necessarily the most liked doctor. I loved him.
Is he the older?
He was the
one?
older guy. Yep. He followed Matt Smith, who may be arguably the most popular doctor, along with David Tennant, who he followed. So you're always judging the previous doctor. One good thing she has going for her in the eyes of the fans as a whole is she's following up someone that wasn't necessarily well liked.
So let me ask you: does every new doctor, are they aware of the previous doctor?
Takes a while.
Oh,
So
it's-
their computer that's rebooting every time.
Oh, that's weird.
So they have to catch up. For instance, she knew when she regenerates, because that's what happens to the doctor. They die and they regenerate. She popped up and they kept saying ma'am, and they call, and after about the 4th or 5th time she goes, "Why do you keep calling me that?" "Well, you're a woman." And she goes, "What?"
Oh, so it is the
She
same.
goes, as far as I knew, I was an old Scottish man, but
Oh, no.
she goes, haven't been a woman for some time,
Oh, that's
which is
fun.
also a pretty cool nod because that means they're going to retro tell a story of the doctor being a woman before. Yeah, every doctor eventually becomes aware of its previous version.
Very
it just takes a
interesting.
while to get there.
And when they die, is it by their choice, or is it like a situation they're usually in, or something?
It's
I mean, are they like fighting
it's
evil
usually
or something? Or?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, the doctor is the ultimate problem solver in the universe.
Okay.
But especially under David Tennant's run, the doctor had a side that doctor is also the most dangerous weapon in the universe. And there were times where people were
Does the doctor have superpowers?
Or does he use his mind to do certain things?
it's his mind basically.
Yeah.
And if the doctor has a power, it's that he's immortal and that he knows so much. And he has a TARDIS, and the TARDIS is very, very powerful. And that's his police box that he flies around in that's bigger on the inside. But no. So does the Doctor have superpowers? Not per se, but is the Doctor all powerful? Yes.
Yeah.
The Doctor is all powerful.
Good production value overall.
So when you see the old campy stuff from back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and then you get David Eccleston, who was good, but he doesn't get his due because he was such a short-lived Doctor. He did not like the part. He's kind of like Daniel Craig as James Bond. He bitches about it all the time.
And then when he gets paid.
But there's something happened when David Tennant took over for Eccleston, and around like midway through David Tennant's run, it got massively popular, and the production value exploded. So from Matt Smith's run on, which David Tennant might be my favorite Doctor, but Matt Smith was my most enjoyable person to watch, if that makes sense, because he was the youngest.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't seem like an older Doctor would. I mean, again, if they're really smart.
Capaldi was great too, though.
Oh, he was good. That's good.
But they're all great. They're all great. And the one good thing they've had is the showrunner right now is Stephen Moffat. Russell T Davies was the original showrunner, and Moffat was his head writer, and then he became the showrunner. Well, one thing that has happened now is he's no longer the showrunner. So you have a new showrunner and a new Doctor.
Big changes.
But it's worth watching. It's 2 episodes in. Obviously, it almost like you evolve with the character. We don't know what kind of Doctor she is yet.
Yeah. Well, that's fun because you could kind of jump in at any time, I guess. If you really wanted to.
So we'll see what happens. But it's 2 episodes. It's worth watching. So
cool. What channel is that?
That's BBC America.
Man, BBC, we just plugged your ass right there.
Yeah. Sponsor us. Tom, what do you got for throwing it to Missy?
Blues suck.
Not happy. Not happy time for Tom.
Nope. Canadians scored with 9 seconds to go, so Blues do not even get a point. Do not go to overtime.
How many points do they have so far this year?
4 in 6 games.
And that's they had 1 overtime game and they have 1 win, right?
Yep, pretty bad. Or they've had 2 overtime games.
2 overtime games.
And also to sports, we have a big matchup this week in the Fantasy Football League of Sadness, Factory of Sadness.
The juggernaut that is my team.
Undefeated, taking on my fledgling 3-3 team.
You are playing me at the best possible time. Week 7's arguably my weakest time to play.
Yep.
Well, actually, whenever Mahomes is out, is going to be my weakest.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I'm riding that train to the championship, baby.
Yeah. Interesting trailer of the week. Rocket Man and Elton John movie coming out.
Yeah, looks pretty solid.
Really, really
looks pretty solid.
Okay.
Who's
playing Elton? Anybody we know?
Yes, it's the kid from Kingsman.
Yep.
Oh, that I did read about that. That's right.
Unfortunately, I feel like they timed this piss poor.
Oh yeah.
Because we have Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody.
And I'm
Rocket Man's coming out next year.
I know,
Next
but
summer.
I would have even waited till like the Queen
movie
slowed
came out.
down.
Yeah.
You know.
'Cause I'm psyched for Queen.
My birthday comes out on my birthday. I'd like to go see
I
it.
think it'll be good.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
It's good.
Any other trailers that have peaked?
Oh, Creed 2, the second
Oh,
trailer.
Creed 2 looks great.
You know what? I gotta really love these, I guess, production crews and like finding these people that are taking these music renditions of older stuff and like just giving that extra like, I don't know, that
tweaking it, giving it the remix.
Yeah,
almost.
but just enough where it's like, because man, I watch those trailers, I'm like, I'm ready for a fight. You know, let's go see. And then when they show friggin' what's his face?
Michael B. Jordan.
Well, no.
Ivan Drago. Yeah.
When we had the Drago shirt vest on or whatever. I was like, oh my god, what's going on?
I thought Creed was.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Movie. No, Stallone got nominated, right?
He got nominated in M1, and it was controversy about it.
That's funny.
Because he was going up against a well-deserving black person, and he won. So I'm pretty sure he won.
Well.
And it was a part of the whitewashing controversy.
Yeah, you might be right. Michael B. Jordan probably should have won. Creed was a great movie.
Creed was a good movie.
It was good. Maybe this one will be better. Maybe.
I still want to go see Bad Times at the El Royale.
Okay, I heard it got
reviews.
I hear it's weird, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, it's got good reviews.
Like
yeah.
7.2, 7.5 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I'm down with it. It's right in my wheelhouse of Reservoir Dogs and stuff. That reminds me of being a kid, younger.
Very odd.
Yeah,
it just looks very odd. Yeah.
I did not see that there's a new Robin Hood movie with Taron Egerton and Jamie Foxx.
Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
He plays, I believe, Bernie Taupin. In the Rocket Man movie.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so he's also Robin Hood.
Yeah, Bernie Taupin is the guy who wrote all the songs for.
I saw the trailer for the Robin Hood, and oh god, it feels like a flop. It feels so
It
bad.
gave me the warm and fuzzies when I saw it during the
Kind
solo.
of feel like King Arthur did.
Like, yes, like way over the top, like crazy trick shots, but not in a cool way. Like when Legolas did it, at least you were like, hey, it's Legolas. It's Lord of the Rings. This dude's shooting like 4 or 5 arrows at a time and doing flips, and it's just like, what?
I don't know what
are
this
you
kid
doing?
who would be king, but there's about 1 million trailers of him up on the YouTube. So we might need to see. Ooh, Godzilla King of Monsters. That looks good. And then
Destroyer. Did you see this one with Nicole Kidman?
I only saw the Destroyer one pop up. I haven't watched it yet.
This, I know you all can't see it. You maybe want to look this up. That's Nicole Kidman right there.
Let me check it out.
Yeah, and it's like this story of like her.
Is she going full Ashley Judd?
Like Monster or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it looks like an awesome
we
drama.
talked about in the last episode. Vice looks great.
Vice.
You know what we're talking about?
Yes.
Yes. So of course I'm gonna.
I will play the vice president.
Of course I'm gonna plug Little Harmontown.
Yeah.
Dan Harmon
he back on Twitter?
he recently watched Mandy, and he says it's amazing.
Okay, I watched it.
You did watch it?
I watched it 3 nights ago.
Is it out?
No, what's Mandy?
Maybe I found.
That's all you had to say. That's all you had to say.
found
Mandy's
it in a-
Nicolas
in a
Cage
dumpster.
just fucking chewing up scenery in a psychological
So it's
horror
a
movie.
psychological thriller horror, if you will, but basically it's very slow starting. I'm
He's
warning you
Nick
right there.
Caging it up, man.
But I'm telling you,
So like Wicker Man or whatever that movie was.
he fit the role. He did all right.
Yeah.
And even the female who did it, the one with Tom Cruise when they had the mothership up there, and it's Oblivion.
Oh yeah.
That chick's in, and she's played a lot of versatile roles where she's
good,
they
yeah.
make her look rough. But either way, yeah, man, very interesting movie.
Now, did you like Mother?
Didn't see it. Heard really rough things about it.
Didn't like it, man. Really love that director. Didn't like the movie.
I think you're gonna enjoy this one.
All right.
It doesn't feel like that kind of because some people told me about it.
Yeah.
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 So
All
yeah,
right.
Mandy's.
All right. Well, we're
right.
going to let you close out the throat to Missy. You got anything you want to talk about? A hit real fast?
A hit. Well, hey, I'm really into gaming. I bet you have a few people out here that like to game and stuff. So
Yep.
you got some games coming out, and I'm sure Missy games, not really, but you got Battlefield 5 and you got Fallout 76 coming out over the next few
I would
months.
love to. So some people have played Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Some celebrities, and they've said it's amazing.
It sounds really cool. Now, I think it's going to disappoint some that are used to the normal Fallout series because it's not that single player immersion in that universe.
No,
now it's a multiplayer.
It's
kind
of like Fallout version of Fortnite. Like it's
Fortnite,
very
Ark, all those
sandboxy,
things.
open, and
Agreed.
Yeah, it looks great.
It looks fun, and for those, if you're like, yeah, because this is one of those where you have to like build a base and get some materials, and then you can nuke other people and get stuff. But if you're thinking to yourself, yeah, but I don't want to get owned by other crews or jacket, so they put a lot of things in place to stop people from what they call we're basically
Some kind of predatory gaming thing.
yeah, when you just go you pick on the people because you can, you have the best gear. So now when you do it, if you shoot at somebody or whatever, they have to actually engage with you in order for it to actually go down. Otherwise,
you can ignore conflict if you
can.
need
And
to.
if they keep going and they try to kill you, then they get like a bounty put on their face, and then like their money pays for that bounty, and then everybody just hunts them down and kills them. And,
I'll be darned.
And also for the nuke thing, when you want to nuke other people's bases or whatever, the nuke actually creates a bountiful place where you can just go get all these kinds of like cool items and rare things. So you wouldn't want to go nuke somebody's area because then they're going to go get all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
And furthermore, if you're worried about your base just being destroyed, like all those games like Ark and all the other ones where basically all the really strong clans go rape everybody and then then everybody loses the server. Now you actually have blueprints for your bases. So even if you left the server or if you want to recreate again,
they allowed you to be.
you can almost recreate it almost to
nice.
the T. You may have to gather a few resources, but at least you'll be right back at it. So
that's cool.
Very cool. And they call that griefing now. That's the new term.
Griefing.
Griefing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Griefing.
Griefing.
Yeah, I don't.
Of course, there's a term.
Yeah, of
course.
course. Well, right. Thank you, IGN. Assholes.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I think as far as video games go, I still haven't got through Zelda on Switch. So, which is amazing. I got stuck, so I'm thinking I have to restart the whole fucking game because
I know you're talking Battle Royale, so the Call of Duty just came out, which I'm not a fan anymore because they weren't doing graphics anymore. They're just like repeating the same game, but they released a Battle
they
Royale.
say it's pretty good.
My buddy Justin said it's super polished and it's nice. It's
I've not
fun.
played PUBG. I know some people
PUBG
like it.
I've played on PC, it's
and
all
I
right.
don't play Fortnite. I watch my daughter play the fuck out of Fortnite.
I play for a little bit. It's a
Can't
little
do
rough.
it. My grown-up fingers don't work for the
I
dexterity
don't care
needed.
about the building and shit. I'm just like,
You got to.
I just want to shoot somebody.
But you got to.
I know.
If you don't care, you get smoked, son.
Big time.
Smoked.
I know.
We got anything else, Tom?
Think we're good. Hey, Let's go Blues.
Yeah,
Let's go.
we
Blues.
appreciate, as always, our annual you coming
Absolutely.
on.
Thank you so
guys.
much. Thank you for including us in Dead Nightmare.
Heck
We
yeah.
love it.
Let's do some
Thanks for not killing me all.
Z-Man crossover. Let's do some YouTube channel crossover. Let's figure some stuff
We've been
out.
talking about it long enough, and now that this episode 6 is done, I might gonna have some time to think, and
Let's figure it out.
we'll
But
find some
in
time
the
on
meantime, we're going to play our music right now. We're going to call this thing done. Makes the people.
Where is
Bane on
where is
that?
Madonna? Oh, so wait, we went from Madonna to Bane?
Yeah, he loves doing Bane.
Then this makes you feel
I could do the exact same one, but he really gets off.